Here we are. It's the third part of the ILFL Soccer Night show, and back in the place is our main man, the league secretary, Mr. Rashid Ali, who is now going to conduct the draws that we've been waiting for all evening. As you heard us speak about, with the Vets Cup, we had two teams who finished neck and neck in Group D, and all Rashid is going to do is draw one team out who are going to be number one, and then that was first place. And then, obviously, number two is going to be the second place team. And that will help us then conclude who will play who in the quarterfinals that are taking place this Thursday. Quarterfinals and semi-finals this Thursday. Am I right, Rashid?
That's correct, yes.
It's quarterfinals and semi-finals happening this Thursday. So without further ado, I'll turn the camera to you, League Secretary.
Two teams, so I'll give it a little shake. The first place will go to Mohammedan Vets.
So Mohammedan Vets will now be the first, so they will be up against?
The runners-up of Group C.
The runners-up of Group C, and then that will leave the other team. Who are the other team? Mohammedan and?
Bromley.
Mohammedan and Bromley. So we've got those two teams. You will see the draw conclude for that in a little while. But what we need to do now is we need to do the draw for the ILFL League Cup. 4 teams in the hat for that. Again, without further ado, I'm going to turn to you, General Secretary, Mr. Rashid Ali, and tell me who's going to be playing who. First team out of the hat.
First team is Crusaders.
Crusaders, the hot team from Division 1. Who controversially have only lost one game in the league, but there are going to be no pushovers against whoever they come up against. Who are they going to be up against?
London Tigers.
Crusaders against London Tigers. I think I know which game I'm going to be watching on Sunday. And that then, just for posterity, can you complete the draw and tell us who the remaining two teams are?
The home team is going to be Ace.
Ace. Having a good season, and like we said, when they turn up, they're capable of beating most teams. They're going to be playing against?
Obviously, away team, Beaumont.
The away team being Beaumont. There it is, your ILFL League Cup draw as conducted by our League Secretary here Monday, the February the 29th is Crusaders versus London Tigers and Ace versus Beaumont. Those games to be played this Sunday, the venues and times to be confirmed with the respective teams. And as they've come straight out of the hat, I'm going to turn to you, Nanu. Crusaders, Tigers.
I don't know. It's a tough call. You know,
it
Crusaders, a new team, you know, doing ever so well in the first division. Tigers, you know, in the Premier Division, long established, you know, right at the top there. Statistically, I don't know. It looks like Tigers, definitely, because they've scored, what, 60 goals already in the season? And I know they've had 1 or 2 more games than Crusaders, you know, who scored about 55 goals throughout the season. But Tigers have scored those 60 goals in the Premier Division.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. And I'm going to say this. I don't know, I might be talking out of turn, but hey, that's my job up here, that London Tigers have not had the best season in the world, performance-wise. I think they've grown at results, I think they've grown performance. I remember distinctly the game they had against Walthamstow Red Star to get this far. Red Star from the second division, playing out of their skin, were battering everybody in the second division, and Tigers were lucky to win the game. And Tigers only won it on penalties.
Well, that's Tigers for you.
And I think if they play like that, which they probably won't, but if they play like that, I think Crusaders could beat them. I watched Crusaders 2 weeks ago, and the Crusaders team that I saw out there 2 weeks ago are more than capable. What do you say, Rash?
It's possible, because I think even the manager, he said for him, he has to get 2 trophies. That's what he's looking at. So he's got a big target. He's very ambitious. We've seen the results they've been putting off. I only had 1 defeat in the whole season. He's already also added a few more players in the recent weeks, so he's determined to finish well. So he's got the determination, he's got the squad. It's just it's against London Tigers, he's got experience. So we've seen in cups what Stepney have done. We've seen the Vets, lower teams have done. It can happen on the day. It's just on the day who performs, who's got the passion, who wants to beat more, who's the hungrier team. I think it shows in the cups. The upsets are always there. So it's a good match.
Personally. So Rash, I'm gonna. Ace Beaumont, this is what you've got to play for now as the Beaumont club.
The only thing left is salvage some respect, and I think to at least be in the semi-final. I'm quite surprised we're still in the semi-final. It's a chance to get some respect back in the team, get a reputation back, and at least silverware, one step away from final. I know they've beaten good teams to get to Ace, a good side, they're established. Hassan is only looking at the cup because he knows the league's gone. Realistically, to win something, this is something we can win. So it should be a very competitive. Again, can't take for granted. There could be upset. So for me, we'll give 100%. That's the only thing we've got left. So hopefully on the day we have the turnout, commitment, and the desire to win back some bit of self-respect.
We spoke about the league games that took part last week. I'm just going to show you the Premier Division table as it stands right now, because we're coming into the close season, the end of the season as it stands now. I don't know if we can see this on the screen right now, but as it stands, London Tigers are top with 32 points. They have 1 game left in the division. Reach Out have 2 games in hand over them. Lotus, their slip up against West Ham has thrown it pretty much out of their grasp now. They can't catch Tigers. And for Stepney, even though they've got 2 games in hand over Tigers, Tigers would have to lose that last game and hope that Reach Out also trip up and fall flat on their faces. So we don't really want to talk about what Stepney have done this season. You can see that, mathematically something's there, but realistically, it may have just slipped beyond you. What's Stepney's ambition going into next season and beyond now? We've spoken and we've seen there is a transition now where you've merged maybe players from other clubs that have come in now, and this is a new Stepney going forward.
I think the ambition is always going to be there to try and compete and try and win the Premier Division title. Any competition that we're actually in, we're in it to win it. But what we can't have is a season like this one. Yeah, full credit to London Tigers. They've come back, they've done well. It's theirs to lose now more than anything else. Unless they have a major collapse and Reach Out don't win their final game, it looks like the title is going to be going to London Tigers. But what we need is to be able to have all our players available each and every week. Unfortunately, that's been our biggest loss. And if you look at the goals scored this season, if you look at our defensive record, we're still probably, one of the best defences in the league.
Absolutely.
And over past seasons, that's pretty much been our backbone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's our goals scored. We're missing the likes of Mustafa for large periods this season, along with Zola, which hasn't helped our goals. Finding the back of the net. So any side that loses key players like that will struggle. That being said, we're still, if we win our 2 games in hand, we're only 2 points behind Tigers. So it's not been the worst season in the world.
Not at all. Not at all. As it hasn't for Stepney. There are 2 games to play. Stepney do have a game this weekend. Here are the fixtures happening this Sunday in the Premier Division. On the screen for you right now. Stepney go to Bromley, and I think from that game, Zah, you'll find out what London Tigers have to do, because London Tigers' last game is against Bromley. So you'll know what Tigers will come up against. West End take on Reach Out, and maybe West End now, buoyed by that win over Lotus last week, will look to get another 3 points against Reach Out and salvage something from a season which has not been the greatest for them. Reach Out need to win that game. I think that could be a really key game between those 2 teams. Taking a look into the First Division now. Seoul Youth are still top, but Seoul Youth are just there because the maths work it out that way. Crusaders are the team who, to all intents and purposes, look like they're going to win it. They're a point behind, 2 games in hand. Everybody's playing 14 games in that division. Realistically, we think the fight might be for second place. What will happen with Ace chasing now Crusaders and Seoul Youth above them? Ace have to keep winning and hope that they can make something of it when it comes down to the last game of the season. We've got games in the First Division. It's Stepney B versus... I haven't asked you about the B side. No, I'm not going to ask you about the B side. Stepney B take on Sire in the First Division. Although I will say Stepney B's game against Crusaders was the one game where I thought Stepney would have beaten Crusaders. They were the better team on the day until a red card incident changed the game, but we won't talk about that. Into the Second Division. 3 teams. This is the one that has really kept us on the edge of our seats over the last few weeks. Walthamstow Red Star were leading it from front to back until a couple of weeks ago, where they all of a sudden collapsed and lost 3 games in a row and now find themselves in 3rd place. and can't even win the division. Now they're looking to see if they can at least hang on to a second place finish and be promoted to the first division. Redcoat have been the quiet team of the second division. Nobody's really spoken about them, but they've been consistent. They've banged in a hatful of goals and they're right up there. They're 6 points behind St. Catherine's with a game in hand, although again, there's lots of maths here, but let me just say, if St. Catherine's win their next game and win it by a lot of goals, they look like they could be the second division champions. Games happening there though. Arsenal take on the Fish Islanders and Redcoat take on Walthamstow Red Star. And Redcoat know it's a game they have to win to keep the mathematics in their favour against St. Catherine's, although Red Star are chasing a second place finish. Redcoat or Walthamstow Red Star for you?
I think this weekend's game is definitely fight for second place. I have to say, I think St. Catherine's have done so well.
They have.
Initially, we kind of wrote them off, you know. Walthamstow Red Star was winning everything, you know, and we thought, yeah, fantastic. That's a new team that comes in, you know, they might win the title. But St. Catherine just kept the head down and kept winning and winning and winning, and they scored an amazing 80 goals in that season, you know, so far. So, and I'm expecting a few more before they close off the season anyway. So, like I said, Redcoat and Walthamstow this weekend is definitely a fight for second place, and I think St. Catherine has most definitely got it in the bag.
You did very well to avoid the question there, Nanu. Walthamstow Red Star or Redcoat?
Tough one, but Redcoat.
Thank you very much, and that concludes our show for this evening. Thanks to Jermaine for coming in this evening, Nanu. Thanks to Zah and to Harry for coming in to represent Stepney this evening, Rashid and all the boys behind the screen who have made it possible for you again tonight. I am David Joseph. We're out of time. Got to say goodbye to all of you and see you next Monday on the ILFL Soccer Night Show. Good night.